My name is Haas, and hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I think we got a few people in here already. Thanks for all the likes to everybody who gave likes already. I see Lewis in the chat. Someone can let me know if you guys can hear me. That would be awesome. It is a pretty chilly Friday night in Chicago. It's maybe about 30 degrees, plus like maybe 13-mile-an-hour gusts. So it's a little bit chilly, but not terribly so. I got a jacket and some gloves this time and a scarf underneath my jacket and some pants and whatnot. So, long pants, that is. Hey, Felix is here. Felix says, hey, Haas, the sound is good. Jake says sound is good. All right, awesome to know. So I will be streaming this protest. It's going to be loud. So hopefully you guys will be able to at least hear me for some time. So this is a protest against foie gras. If you're not familiar with foie gras, it is the force feeding of ducks. The force feeding of the ducks basically like fattens them up quickly, and then they often develop like fatty liver types of issues. And it is it's a pretty egregious form of cruelty, if you ask me. So anyway, the protest is about to start in just a little bit. We've got a group here, and the group is going to be rolling up to the restaurant that's being protested shortly. I've got some earplugs just in case it gets super loud. I don't have my stabilizer with me, but I'll do my best to keep the camera pretty stable. I might be just placing the tripod on the ground, on the sidewalk shortly, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see. So the group is on the move, and so we'll see how this goes. I haven't actually filmed a protest in a really long time. Jake says protect your ears. Yes, I've got my earplugs. Let's see how loud it is from close up. But yeah, once I put the tripod down, I'm probably gonna put some earplugs in. I've been to my fair share of rock concerts and whatnot, so my ears could definitely use the extra care. I'll go ahead and flip the camera here if I can. There we go. All right, so we got a group here on their way. I'm kind of trailing behind here. So got a few more steps to go here. Wanted to kind of hopefully get you guys tuned in just a little bit before the protest gets underway. Yeah, it's a brisk night. The air kind of feels cool and crisp. Felix, I'm not too familiar with the place, so I'd rather not. But from what I'm told, they are engaged in the sale of foie gras. So that's really all that I know as well. It's kind of a need to know basis kind of thing. So yeah, I appreciate your question though. And looks like we are almost there. So if you're just tuning in, this is a protest that is going to be against the sale of foie gras, and it's about to start.
got that? What the fuck? Holy monsters, force feed duck! What the fuck? Holy monsters, force feed duck!
All right, so this is a protest against foie gras. Foie gras is the practice of force feeding ducks. It basically fattens up their livers and causes them to have diseased livers before they're turned into food.
Animals do not want to die. Animal abuser, shame on you! Shame on you for what you do! Or me, it's not, it's you! For animal abuse! Your menu is not an excuse! For animal abuse! Please torture parents!
Be careful. People get angry here, and if someone sees you associated with us, they might just like run off, and like they'll have trouble. The cops aren't going to pursue those people if that happens.
Gotcha. So if you're just tuning in, this protest is against foie gras, which it is considered a delicacy. What it really is, though, is it's a form of egregious cruelty where ducks are forcibly fed, meaning that they have a tube stuck in their mouths. And the tube is basically force feeding them food to such an extent that they end up getting like diseased fatty liver. That's essentially what foie gras is. So what this group is doing is protesting this act of cruelty, trying to hand out information to people who are leaving the restaurant. where foie gras is being served. It is quite loud, so I backed up a little bit from the scene, just to be able to kind of talk to you guys also, and to be able to protect my ears a little bit. I do have earplugs in. I'm not sure how well you guys are able to hear me at this time, but it is quite loud. Jake says, doesn't most foie gras come from only a few companies? I'm not sure. I don't know. Cats will willingly themselves eat until they're also dying of fatty liver disease. Michael, I hadn't heard of that. But I suppose if that's true, that's a good reason to presumably to control their portions. But yeah, in this case, they are force fed with a tube, like a tube that's shoved down their throats. So they're not eating, in their own volition, right? They're eating, or they're being forcibly fed. So there's some chalk activism going on, and some information handing out going on. So we'll get a little closer and check out some of the chalk chalktivism that's happening. Sorry for the shaking. Sucks. So if you're just tuning in, this is a protest against foie gras. And if you could do me a favor, and if you're vegan, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. Let's help push this out to some more people. Satanic Steven is here. Is that the same as Evil Steven? I see Alicia here. Nice. I see all ones. I think we got all vegans in here. That's awesome to see. Hopefully, okay. So that is Evil Steven. I like Satanic too. You come up with the best names. So thank you guys for being here. This is a protest happening right here against the use of foie gras, against the sale or production of foie gras, which is a product of force feeding ducks until they develop fatty liver, and it's just an unnecessary practice. I mean, obviously, all animal consumption is unnecessary, right? We don't need to be eating animals. It's 2025. We can live perfectly healthy lives eating plants and not exploiting or commodifying animals. This is just one of the more egregious forms of cruelty before the animals are killed. So we'll turn back around and check out what's going on here. 'Uh-oh. So the cops looked like they were rolling up. They had some kind of lights on, right? But looks like they didn't actually. Oh no, I think they came back around and they're parking. So, but yeah, the cops look like they're parking right now. So they might be. And there's someone that just walked up to the window. Let's see if I can zoom here. Lewis, I'm not sure what he's up to tonight. That's a good question though. Chicago nightlife. Yeah, we're kind of in like a neighborhood right now. It's not even really downtown Chicago. So that's the cop car. Wow, that's some pretty amazing zoom, huh? That's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive zoom. Felix says, what's your experience with Chicago police in these types of protests? Truth be told, I haven't done much protesting type of activity in Chicago. I did a bunch in San Diego, and they were always cool there. I think police's job on the whole is to try to maintain the public order and maintain like peace, which I would hope that would be the same as what the Chicago police are gonna attempt to do. It is quite loud here, so it's not surprising that it got their attention. There's also a sign from in front of the restaurant. There's people filming and stuff. There's a sign that says, let's see what it says. I can't cross the street. Jake says, in my town, we can't use speakers to disrupt the business or write on the sidewalks. Wow. Sidewalks. I guess they can have an ordinance against chalking, right? I would think that it's considered like public. Oh, another cop just showed up. There's some chalking here. See, there's a police officer. Right across the famous Lincoln Hall.
You're probably aware that we are here tonight because Dylan continues to sell foie gras. I'd like to share with you the process by which foie gras is made. To produce foie gras, the French term for fatty liver, workers ram pipes down the throats of male ducks twice each day, pumping up to 2.2 pounds of grain and fat into their stomach.
There's someone filming.
Causes the bird's livers to grow up to 10 times their normal size.
Wow, she said their livers can swell to up to 5 times their size. So if you're just tuning in, this is a protest against the sale of foie gras. It is a product of egregious animal cruelty. Jake says, in town, we can't use speakers to disrupt the business or right. Oh, I already read that. Felix says, we have a bylaw against chalking, but I've rarely seen it enforced. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Chicago has such a thing. Of course, if I were to do chalking, I would definitely look that up beforehand. But yeah, I'm not totally sure what if Chicago has an ordinance against it. But yeah, thank you to everybody who's tuned in. It is quite chilly outside. I'm taking my gloves on and off. Switch back around and check out what's going on here.
Chicago! Does this sound like a practice that belongs in our society ever? Let alone in the year 2025, almost 2026. I know most of you are against this, but for some reason, the people act out.
The speak out is really kind of making me think. She was saying I know most of you are against this, referring to the production of foie gras, and it just makes you think. I mean, if you think about what's happening to animals for just like products that we just simply don't need, most people wouldn't want this to happen to animals in their name, right? Like, you wouldn't want to be responsible for animals being tortured. I think nobody would want to be responsible for animals being hurt, but unfortunately, because people like the way they taste, sometimes they feel justified in what they do, or they just feel bad about it and just say, I'll think about it another day, and put off actually looking into what's happening to animals, actually looking at the footage and seeing if what's happening to these animals is actually fair or not, right? Deciding for themselves and deciding to actually no longer participate in it. For the animals, we will fight. So it looks like there's some people talking to the cops. I imagine they're here for this protest, but I'm just not sure. And the other cop is still down there. So if you didn't see earlier, I got my earplugs in. So it's definitely important to put safety first. protect your ears, all that good stuff. Um, hopefully, this is raising some awareness. I saw some people going by and honking. I saw some people going by doing a thumbs down. I don't know if that was thumbs down to the protest or thumbs down to foie gras. Like I said, we have some police activity here. A couple of cop cars are here. We got a trolley going by here. A little trolley. Maybe some people reconsidering going into the restaurant. It's not totally clear to me. Thank you to everyone who's here, commenting, sending your hearts, and for liking the stream as well, and helping to push the stream out to more people. Bogged says, I would shut that shit down in a New York second. If you're talking about the sale of foie gras, I can definitely commiserate. The vegan anthem says, what do other sentient animals lack that if a human lacked would justify treating? It smells very skunky, and I don't know where it's coming from. Would justify treating the human as legal property like them. Of course, we know that, right? There's no justification. There's no justification to treat animals like property. Bogged says, I'm talking about the noise. Well, in Chicago, I think it's 11 p.m., after which quiet hours are enforced. Is my flashlight on? No. Why does it look like it's on? Let's see. Huh. How bizarre. Okay, anyway. So I'm not sure. I think these cops just got out right now, or one of them did. This lady's walking back. This cop is, she's going back inside. And it looks like this cop is going to talk to this other cop. Yes. Smash the like button, as David says, or just tap it gently. Bogged says, I would shit right there on the sidewalk and everybody would leave. If you took a shit on the sidewalk, that would have to constitute some kind of like, I'm not sure, like public indecency, something like that, I would think at the least. So I would not recommend that. You might end up on some kind of a list or something, or registry if you like. I assumed, yeah, you don't want to shit on a sidewalk. But I appreciate your sense of humor. Well, looks like it's maybe a calm before a storm here. We had the cops talking to each other. Boggett says, but it would stop. That's the point. I'm not sure if it would necessarily stop, because also, I can't speak for anyone else here, but like I've been to vigils before where we look at we give water to animals before slaughter. It smells very bad. I mean, a lot of times these animals are like in their own waste, in their own filth, in the back of a slaughterhouse truck where they've been transported for a week or more. And, people stick around for a long time, giving, comfort, water, compassion to those animals. So I'm not sure that a little bit of shit on the sidewalk would necessarily cause the crowd to disperse. But again, I do appreciate the sense of humor. I was a kid once, and I still have a sense of humor. So I can appreciate that. Got some people reading the sidewalk chalk there. So if you're just tuning in, this is a protest against the use or the sale use, I guess. We got another police, but he's not. The police is not lighting up their car, so looks like maybe they've got it under control. Oh nope, they just lit up their lights as well. Maybe it's the same cop. It's not. Maybe it's the same cop that was here earlier. It's not. It's not totally clear. But yeah, it's 2025. We don't need to be force feeding ducks anymore. B Boggett says, "You're right. You guys are used." By the way, correct me if I'm pronouncing your username incorrectly. Your guys are used to just stepping over dead bodies. Stepping over, I'm not sure. Dead bodies, I'm not sure. Most activists, I think, avoid the inside of slaughterhouses, but some activists certainly do go into slaughterhouses. Okay, we got some cops talking to each other. It seems over there. See if we can get a little better of an angle. Liberate. I think that's the right line. I don't know all these rhymes, unfortunately. Back in my protesting days, I did know some lines. I think they also kind of change based on the application, whether it's foie gras or a different type of protest. So, thank you to everybody for tuning in. Thank you for trying to push the stream out to others. Thank you for all the chat comments. Thank you to all the vegans here for being vegan, of course. D Boggett says, "I hope they bring out the pepper spray in the hoses." I don't think there are any hoses. I'm sure the cops do have pepper spray, but this protest has been peaceful, right? Nobody has, as far as I've seen, trespassed. Nobody has assaulted anyone, as far as I've seen. It's just people passionately pleading for ducks to not be force-fed, or more precisely, for this restaurant to no longer have foie gras on their menu. My hands are getting very cold. I'm going to go ahead and put some gloves on and see if we can get a little more, little warm. Satanic Steven says, "Your beard looks great, by the way." Oh, thank you. I do appreciate that. At this point, it's more of a warmth accessory, honestly, than a stylistic choice. It is quite cold. We got some people walking here who may or may not have just exited the restaurant. We got some other people exiting. So the group has kind of assembled in such a way where some people are facing outward, some people are facing the restaurant, some people are a little bit like 3/4 angled. Looks like there's some more people who came out. Oh, took some info. That's good. Uh-oh. Looked like there was a little bit of contact there on the part of the person who left, touching one of the protesters. Looks like quite a few people are leaving right now.
Tradition is not an excuse.
Steven says, I'm 3 hours south of you and it's 60 degrees here almost. Yeah, here it's about 30 degrees outside, I think. Maybe a little bit colder, maybe closer to 28, 29. Yeah, with the wind chill, it's probably in the low 20s. There's like 13-mile-an-hour gusts, which isn't terrible, but yeah, it's pretty cold. Let me catch up with the chat here. D Boggett says, I would have to stop this just because it makes no fucking sense. I don't understand what doesn't make sense about it. It's protest against animal cruelty. D Boggett says, I would take X-Lax and I would spray doo-doo all over them. I don't think D Boggett is being serious about that one. That would be a form of assault, and a pretty I don't know what the word is, egregious, I guess, form of assault. Yeah, legally protesting. Jake says 31 here in freezing rain. That sounds terrible. Yeah, I'm not opposed to rain. I like rain. Like summer rain is my favorite. And I don't really mind the cold, but rain and cold together is brutal. Oh man, Felix is in negative wind chills. That's brutal. That is brutal. I definitely sympathize. Let's check back in with the protest here. Looks like the cops haven't really approached the group. They've kind of just seemingly talked to someone, and then they're just kind of stationed out there. Steven says, I loved freezing rain as a kid. Everything turned into an ice rink. I wish I felt the same. I slipped and fell like a week ago, maybe on the ice, and my whole side was kind of like not bruised, but like I was pretty sore. Like my hip, my shoulder, my elbow, my knee was not fun. And I was trying to kind of like slide a little bit on the ground because I was like, yeah, this is kind of fun. But yeah, it took a few days for me to recover. I was definitely stiff for a few days. Jake, you're awesome for tuning in. Thanks for being here. I saw your conversation with that one lady the other day. That was a pretty amazing interaction. I only caught the end of it, but she seemed really thankful that she ran into you that day. I thought that was pretty awesome. David says Felix could skate in the streets soon. Yeah, I don't recommend just skating in the streets. That's what I was doing when I fell. So just maybe a personal anecdote, but just if you're gonna do that, be very careful. Jake says he hurt his shoulder. Yeah, I luckily I didn't like dislocate or break or anything. But I just fell like, sideways. Like it was basically I just lost my balance. I went just right on my side. So that whole side, like I couldn't sleep on it and stuff. I woke up in the middle of the night. I was kind of like nauseated from just like pain, inflammation, kind of like catching up to me. But yeah, just a few days of good hydration and a little bit of extra B12 and other vitamins and things like that. And I was all back to normal. So, yeah, ice can be dangerous. Let's check back in. It's an interesting brick pattern here. Saying foie gras torture trade. David says, stay warm and safe. My hands are still sore from yesterday. David, what were you doing? I didn't catch your stream yesterday. As far as I know. I'm wondering what made your hands sore. Maybe were you arguing with people in the stream and ferociously typing on your phone? Or maybe your hands are sore because they were cold. Force feeding trade. Only monsters force feed ducks. The Boggett says, maybe be concerned about feeding the homeless before you concerned about the ducks. We can be concerned about both. And the fact is that, these ducks are force-fed food, and then they are killed to be treated as food, right? To be used as food. We can just cut out the middle duck, right? And we can just grow crops to feed ourselves rather than, using animals as intermediaries, right? It's incredibly inefficient. Cruelty and everything aside, it's just mathematically not a very good idea, right? They, you maybe get like a 5% return on calories. Oh, David was outside at a big cow-calf operation. Super windy. Yeah, it's Canada. Yeah, man, it is cold out there. I definitely sympathize. D. Boggett says, don't just step over human beings and go. We can be concerned about both. Humans are more important. I don't think it's stepping over humans to say that we can be concerned about both. Right? It's like imagine someone is kicking a dog, and then the officer, someone calls like an officer, and the officer comes and says, hey, why is this person kicking a dog? And then the person says, well, you should be spending your time feeding the homeless instead of being concerned about me kicking a dog, right? The logic is the same, right? Because it's unnecessary cruelty against an animal, right? Kicking a dog is unnecessary. Force feeding ducks is unnecessary. They're both egregious forms of unnecessary cruelty to animals that is totally avoidable. So it's better to just, not...
What's up?
It's better to not be involved in cruelty if we can help it, right? And we certainly can avoid foie gras just as much as we can avoid kicking dogs. So that's called injustice washing, what you're doing. You're trying to pit one injustice against another, and that's just not logically sound. So I'm trying to be a little bit vigilant here about my camera, just because in case someone is coming here because if they are perhaps angry about the stream, just trying to guard the stuff a little bit. What's that?
You want to try force feeding me and do the demo and see if that gets more people to want to engage customers.
That's all right. Maybe someone else can do it and I can film it.
Okay. Right on.
All right. Arbitrary discrimination based on species. Yes. Another definition of speciesism that I've heard is basically is very similar, but it's basically making treating someone or discriminating against, yeah, I guess based on species, right? So it's like if the species is the deciding factor for why you make a decision, right? If you're treating somebody cruelly and the deciding factor is, oh well, they belong to this species, yeah, that would be speciesism. Vegan Anthem says, eat whatever, not whomever. Give up no one you never had. Not yours, not your diet. Yeah, exactly. They are persons, right? They're not things. They are their own. They're for their own use. Yes. When you go vegan, you absolutely don't give up anything. You simply stop taking what was never yours to begin with. Very well said. Satanic Steven says you have heated gloves. I don't have heated gloves. Does someone else have heated gloves? I'm not sure. Mine are just they're decently thick. They're like mid-level thick. They're not like the super thick like hockey gloves. They're not the super thin like just like cotton gloves. They're kind of like midway in between. They have nice tensile strength. Heated gloves are kind of expensive, but not a bad investment. I do have warmer gloves, but they would completely obliterate my tactile abilities to use my phone really in any way. Satanic Steven says, "Why is there a power button?" Oh, that is it's just, I think it just signifies that like you can use see how like from here on there's like a different material. So I think on the thumb as well. So basically you can like use a touch screen with it. So that's I wish I could just go I'm like, wait, there's a feature I didn't know about. I wish. All right, let's go listen to this speak out.
You can't move. Someone tilts your head back, shoves a pipe in it, and literally starts force feeding you by shoveling it in disgusting grains and fat. Think about that. Imagine it for a second. This is exactly what Gallant pays to have done to ducks and geese. Because we all know how supply and demand works. If Gallant did not pay for this to be done, and if others like them did not pay for this to be done,
Help stop violence.
Happen. They are the reason that these ducks are tortured like this. Imagine for a second this were happening to you. Imagine this were happening to you. You're dying with psychotic animal abuser. Imagine for a second that this were happening to you. To an animal that you love, or just an animal that you don't even know, but who is a sentient being who does not want this happening to them because they feel pain and fear. And let's just clear this up for a second. We are not suggesting Gallant build schools or hotels or apartments for ducks. We are suggesting and demanding that they consider ducks in a way that is morally relevant and they do not torture them. What is so hard to understand about that, Gallant? And the thing is, Gallant is not a huge corporation. There are literally a very small handful of people who can make this decision to stop torturing ducks. It is Hannah Eager, the general manager, who could influence the decision to stop torturing ducks. It's Scott Stromer, who's standing right here, the bar director. He could make the decision to stop torturing ducks. It's Andres Clavero,
So D. Boggett said, because all species deserve the same treatment. Um, I mean, no, I don't think so. I don't think you need to believe that to be against speciesism, right? For example, like a dog, right, doesn't need the right to vote. I have this amazing plant-based dog, right? He's a dog who eats a totally vegan diet, right? He's an incredible dog, very smart, very loving, very kind, very healthy, athletic, and energetic. But he doesn't need the right to vote, right? He needs shelter. He needs nutritious, healthy, plant-based food, but he doesn't need the right to vote. So when we talk about rights, at least when I talk about rights, I think about negative rights, right? The rights like not to be abused, the right not to be enslaved, the right not to be treated as a commodity. D. Boggett says this is a rich person's protest because no one gives a F about these ducks not right now. Well, if no one gives an F about the ducks, um, that would be all the more reason to speak up for them, right? Because the strong have to protect the weak, right? The ducks aren't going to be able to protect themselves, right? They're completely at the mercy of the people force feeding them. And I'm not sure how much foie gras costs, but I imagine it's not cheap either, for what it's worth. Let's go back to our protest here. The police are still here.
How many people are tuning in here?
Only 6 right now. It's been a little bit slow. Open up the cage door. D. Boggins. Very active in the chat. D. Boggins says, Jesus Christ, no one gives an F about these ducks. Go help the homeless. Go help people in need. Get that solved, and then we'll work our way to the ducks. I just don't think it has to be that way. I think you're doing what's called injustice washing. I think you're trying to say that, you know, the world isn't perfect or there are other problems, and if we waited for the world to be perfect before speaking up for change, I think we'd get there a lot more slowly. I don't think it's fair to step on someone else to bring someone else up, right? I think if we raise the bar at the bottom, right, if we raise the bar for the non-human animals who are being exploited, then everybody, the bar goes up for everybody, right? You don't lose anything by giving moral consideration to ducks, right? It just results in a more compassionate, more just society, right? And I think that benefits everybody. Satanic Steven says, don't talk of love and peace when you have a dead animal on your plate. Socrates. Interesting quote. D. Boggett says, no, keep your eyes on the prize. It's people helping people. It's always been that way. It's how it works. Well, the thing is that, I consider non-human animals to be people as well. If you ask yourself, what is a person? Right? What is the criteria for personhood? It's, if you ask me, it's the capacity to have a subjective experience. It's the capacity to experience the world, right? Through a set of eyes, through a set of ears, through a nose, a mouth, right? The ability to have a conscious experience of the world. To me, that is a person. So I think we need to look at the people who are being exploited the worst, right, and raise the bar for them. People who are being exploited just because they were born into a different body. D. Boggett says, "Go ask a duck to help you when you get shot." I don't plan on getting shot, but if that's a threat, I would advise you against threatening speech. TVA says, "We shouldn't confuse rights conflicts with blatant rights violations through futility fallacies." Blatant rights violations. Yeah, this is it's an interesting question. The force feeding of ducks is kind of you could consider it either like a welfare concern or a rights concern, right? I would consider both animal welfare and animal rights. Obviously, they have the right not to be force fed. Similarly, you could consider it a welfare issue as well. I think you can consider it both. The Boggett, it's interesting that you didn't refer to a non-violent scenario where I would need help. Like, you could have said, if you need help crossing the street, would a duck be able to hold my hand to cross the street or something? It's just a little bit bizarre that, me being shot was the first thing that came to your mind. Whether that's just an example or not, I think, I don't know. Does that sit okay with you as far as what that says about how your mind works, or what state of psychological what psychological state you're in? I'm not sure. Just question to ponder. All right, let's check back in with our protest here. It looks like the cops are still chilling. So, to answer your question, D. Boggett, it's not relevant if someone can help me or do anything for me, right? The whole topic of integrity, I think, comes down to how you treat those who can't help you, right? Who can't help you or hurt you, right? Like, it's about well, if we talk about mental states, I do think it reflects, a more good faith mental state to ask someone, can a duck ever help you, rather than talking about a scenario that involves violence. But in any case, again, it doesn't matter if they can help me or not, right? It doesn't matter if I even necessarily care about them as much as someone else, right? So like if we think about like who we prefer to grant moral consideration to, right? Like I prefer to give moral consideration to my friends, right, compared to strangers. If we just take a human and a human, right? But that doesn't mean that I think it should be okay to hurt other humans just because I prefer I would prefer to help my humans that I'm familiar with if they needed help, right? So I hope that answers your question. Even if they can't help you, even if you're not familiar with them, even if you don't necessarily like them, um, to me it seems still like the preferable option to just be kind, right? Just to be kind. It's all that it takes, right? To just not exploit animals, right? Just treat them as beings in and of themselves who deserve moral consideration, right? Who deserve their negative rights respected. All right, let's check back in with the protests here.
Over 20 countries have banned foie gras. The entire state of California
Open up the cage door. 5, 6, 7, 8. Let the Lord deliberate. 9, 10, 11, 12. Yelling, go to hell. 9, 10, 11, 12. Yelling, go to hell. Yelling, go to hell. Yelling, go to hell. Abusers, go to hell. Animal abusers, go to hell. Dr. Peter, go to hell. Dr. Peter, go to hell. Animal abusers, go to hell. Animal abusers, go to hell. Foie Gras death train. Foie Gras death train. Foie Gras torture train. Foie Gras torture train.
I see Carrie in the chat. Thank you for being here, Carrie. It's been pretty cold here. It's been a little over an hour since this protest started. About an hour, I would say. It's a Friday night here in Chicago. Let's see. D. Boggett says, the bells and bullhorns, you're just trying to annoy people that are trying to have a meal. That's what you're doing. So the idea, another cop is driving by. Wonder if they will stop. I doubt it because we've already got two. They don't have their lights on. But yeah, the point of a disruption is to disrupt speciesism, right? It's to get people to question the status quo. So that's the point, right? Is getting people's attention. All right, cop just, I think, lit someone up. There's definitely some police activity in the area. I think they are just trying to establish their presence here. I think they're doing that just to kind of to try to make sure that everyone's aware that they're here, which I kind of do appreciate, actually. It's kind of a, I would say, somewhat reassuring thing to have police kind of flanking either side of the protest, because you never know how people might react. So it's always good to have that presence here, and they're not like blaring their sirens or flashing any lights. They just have their blue lights on. So I think that's the point there, is just they're trying to keep order. When they're so another cop just left. Now there's seemingly just one cop here. You should see the reaction of the public. They started with us. Keep in mind,
that number. 80% of the American public. Alan, for CPD also sides with us. There's a good chance, based on those numbers, we are not going anywhere but we want it foie gras free. We want it torture free. We want it force feeding free. We want it foie gras free. Torture free. Force feeding free. Duck liver free. Beef liver free. Tortured animal free. Foie gras free. Torture free. Force feeding free. Feeding kite free. Broken beak free. Punctured neck free. Broken wing free. Good animal cruelty free. Foie gras free. Torture free. Torture free. Foie gras free. If we don't get it, 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 just like these curtains, just like these curtains. You can try to hide your shame, Delete. You can try to hide your shame by turning your back on the Chicago public. You can try to hide your shame by pulling down these curtains. But all we need to arm ourselves with is the truth. And the truth is that you support animal abuse. The truth is that you serve animal abuse with this disgusting product known as foie gras. We're going nowhere until you announce that foie gras free. Torture free. Foie gras free. Abuse free. Torture free. Disgusting foie gras. They listen to our We're going nowhere. We want to against the item that you're serving. It's one simple act and we go away forever. Until then, we will continue to speak up for all these innocent animals that you are supporting the abuse, that you are supporting the force feeding of, that you are supporting on force feeding them so much that their litter becomes a disease so they can make a cheap profit. Shame on you, Believe. We pray that you do the right thing. You know how to get in contact with us. Until then, we'll be back. 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 We'll be back.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. This is coming to a close, so I'm going to go ahead and sign out from here. Thanks to everybody who was in the chat, whether you are vegan or not. You know, it helps the engagement, so I do appreciate all the comments from everyone. I haven't been regularly live streaming like I was over the summer. You know, when these live streams were regularly pulling 40 to 60 people concurrently viewing all the time. So I think I'm a little bit deprioritizing the algorithm. So I'm hoping that I can kind of get that back up. But in the meantime, I'll just do what I can when I can. And thank you guys all for tuning in. And hope you guys have a great night. And think about 3 things you're grateful for. Let's maybe do that together. I am grateful for gloves, right? Gloves that keep my hands warm. If I didn't have gloves, my hands would be a lot colder. For example, I don't have one on this hand, and I do have one on this hand. And my hand that I do have a glove on is significantly warmer. So I am grateful for gloves. Secondly, I'm grateful for laws that allow freedom of speech, right? Laws that allow for people to express their thoughts, their minds freely, right? As long as someone's not making threats of imminent violence or encouraging others to commit violence or engaged in hate speech kind of things. I think free speech is great. Hate speech is one of those troublesome things where, unfortunately, even with freedom of speech, I think hate speech is protected, which is unfortunate. But in any case, the third thing is I'm grateful for summer. Right? Can't wait for summer. So maybe everyone think of 3 things you're grateful for too. And thank you for tuning in. And I'll hopefully see you guys all very, very soon. All right. Take care. Be well.